From Washington, D.C., this is Omar Nashashibi. On April 17th, President Biden's administration announced two actions that could lead to additional tariffs on imports and goods and services from China. In a speech to steelworkers in Pittsburgh, the president called on the U.S. Trade Representative, or USTR, to consider tripling the tariffs on imported steel and aluminum from China. Also on April 17th, that same office of USTR announced it will initiate investigation under Section 301 of the Trade Act of 1974 into actions by China distorting markets for commercial vessels, maritime shipping, and logistics that are causing harm to U.S. shipbuilders and other workers. On March 12, 2024, 5 labor unions filed a petition under Section 301 of the trade laws with the USTR alleging that China's actions are increasing the excess capacity of shipbuilding in China, depressing prices, placing restrictions and burdens on inputs, while providing unfair advantages to Chinese companies. Among the allegations included in the petition, the Chinese government is using industrial policies to increase their market share while also directing mergers and providing financing and non-market advantages to Chinese firms and tolerating intellectual property theft. These actions alleged in the 301 petition filed, along with control of shipping freight rates, capacity, allocations, and creating a network of upstream suppliers, is harming U.S. workers and companies, according to the unions that filed that petition. The investigation could result in tariffs on imported goods and services to the United States from China later this year, and possibly as soon as this summer. Any tariffs imposed by the Biden administration would be in addition to existing duties and tariffs that are already in place. The next steps for the 301 shipbuilding investigation, following that April 17th filing and the initiation, come on May 22nd, when comments are due to the USTR, and parties must also file their request to appear at the upcoming May 29th public hearing that will be held in the U.S. International Trade Commission's offices here in Washington, D.C., that on May 29th. On the steel and aluminum side, the president there announced and directed the U.S. Trade Representative to consider tripling the tariff rate on those imported metals coming from China. He is doing so not under the Section 232 national security tariffs, which already impose a 25% tariff on steel and 10% on aluminum around the world. The latest action is being taken as part of the existing Section 301 tariff investigation. The USTR is required by law to conduct a review after 4 years of the tariffs on China imposed by former President Trump of 25% on List 1, 2, and 3, and 7.5% on List 4A. USTR initiated the review nearly 2 years ago and has yet to release the results, saying recently that it would do so, quote, soon. With the review still underway, USTR will use this process as the opportunity to increase the tariffs on imported steel and aluminum from China under Section 301. This would accomplish 2 key points: expedite the method by which the Biden administration can impose these tariffs on imported steel and aluminum from China using an existing ongoing process, and pushing USTR to complete its long-awaited review of the Section 301 that could result in increased tariffs on other imports. Increasing tariff rates imposed under Section 301 on imported steel and aluminum from China are placed on those products in addition to existing Section 232 tariffs of 25% and 10% respectively, and the more than 200 anti-dumping and countervailing duty cases already in effect. The White House, in their fact sheet, indicates that the Biden administration has already imposed 30 anti-dumping and countervailing duties on steel-related products since they came into office. Both the actions on steel and aluminum and on shipbuilding are likely the beginning of a new round of tariffs expected on China in the coming months. For companies not involved in those markets, the April 17th announcements are important as they signal the Biden administration is preparing for further actions on imports that could affect a wide broad of the economy here in the United States, both imports and exports. We will continue to keep you up to date on the latest related to trade and tariffs. In the interim, as always, please contact CLA for more information.